there is a urgency of what the Lord is doing in us as a body and in you individually now that we cannot ignore. And our response and our responsibility over our now prepares us for what's coming. And so we don't wait until it gets here to do something about it. But we start preparing now. That's why we've been seeing and hearing what we've been seeing and hearing. Because the Lord's trying to encourage us to stop waiting. The time is now. The time is now. The time is now. You may say, well, let me do this. Let me take care of this. Just like they said to Jesus, well, I just got married. I just bought a plot of land. Let me go bury. So the time is now. The hour coming, and now is when the true worshipers shall worship. I want us to recognize that worship is not just an expression, but a worshiper is a person whose life is dedicated to the Lord. And when your life is dedicated to the Lord, then everything that comes out of that life becomes worship to him, because I do everything out of my submission and my love and my gratefulness of who he is. This is who he is seeking after. Now, let me be real. That word seek comes from the Greek word zatio, which means not that he's looking for someone, because he's everywhere, and we can't hide if we wanted to. That word seek, comes from the Greek word zatio, which means that's what he demands. It's what he requires. He does not require just for us to play church. He requires worshipers. He demands. So he's telling us that there's a standard, that we can't do it our way. It's the reason why he had to correct the woman, the Samaritan woman, that there's coming a time where we will neither worship on this mountain or in Jerusalem. And they said, no, I'm raising the standard. The worship is not about a physical location. The worship is about a heart posture before him. So as a church, he's telling us the time is now, that we have to prepare. Now, that word prepare is what we do in advance. But we're doing in advance for what is right now and for the fulfillment of what's coming down the road. So what do we have to do? We got to pray. You got to step up. We got to step up our prayer game. We've got to put away some things. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. We've got to put away some things to make room for the fullness of God to be resident in us. We've got to put away some things. We've got to change our perspective. We are coming to a day where we're going to rejoice where the world is complaining. We're going to celebrate where we once used to cuss, because our perspective has changed. It doesn't mean that the trouble is not real, but God changes our view of the trouble. And that will provoke a praise out of us. We have got to be willing to respond to who God is and be responsible over what he is doing in us and through us. This is how we prepare. This is how we prepare. We can't wait for things to get in line. No, we've got to start this now. This is how we prepare. That's why we got to get some things in order. This is the reason why we're running. There's an aim to all that we're doing. And it's not just to say that we had church. Stay home. We're here for something greater than that. Log off for those that are online. We're here for something greater than that. We must see his kingdom come and his will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So those things you got to put them away today. Those things that you need to accept and begin walking into, don't wait for tomorrow. Begin walking into it today. This is the word of the Lord for the church. This is the word of the Lord for us. I don't know what he's going to say to us next week. But let us meditate and be responsible over this word today.
Thank you so much for worshiping with us today at the Carpenters Church. To sow a seed into the ministry, you can use our Cash App at $Mature in the Lord. Or you can mail a check or money order to the Carpenters Church, P.O. Box 10004, Moreno Valley, California 92552. Again, thank you so much for worshiping with us today.